The biggest gaming and lifestyle entertainment platform Rage Expo will go digital this year after 18 years of what they've deemed awesome. This weekend, 6th to 8th November, you can escape to a virtual world for a jam-packed program comprising of talks from industry experts, esports tournaments, an Olympiad and lots of prizes to win. Project manager Michael James spoke to us.
What's nice about this industry is a lot of people can communicate and connect online anyway. They play games together, and then Rage is something they all get together and meet in person. That's been one of the big things that everyone loves to do there. The message I'm getting out there is a lot of people are missing the fact that they couldn't do it this year. So there's a lot of regrets, and everyone's talking about next year when they're going to get back together again. So a lot of people that can't come to Rage can now kind of get a little taste of it. We've actually sold a lot of tickets. We're approaching 5,000 now. Even though they are free.
We also asked Michael about the future of esports in the country.
Esports, in one sense, is the future of sports, especially with the young people. They're playing Fortnite online, they're watching online tournaments and everything. We're seeing a lot of growth in this country all the time. The market's pretty fragmented. There's lots of different organizations doing different things. So we always try and bring everyone together with our events, to try and have big events where everybody can get exposed to it. And then sponsors also getting more interested. But of course, there's a lack of knowledge in the industry about who to talk to, what esports are, whether, what do you pay to sponsor esports is always a question. And we always try and give people a balanced view of the whole situation, give them more bang for buck, so they have a good experience. Because the better experiences you have as a sponsor, the more you want to come back and keep on sponsoring the same sort of thing. So it's a very positive environment, but it is a new environment.
In August this year, we spoke to the first Red Bull esports athlete in Africa, Thabo Moloi. He had this to say.
Being the first esports athlete in Africa is actually mind-blowing. I didn't know that I would be the first esports Red Bull athlete. It actually helps on improving my career also. For young people, those who are interested, I think there is, because it's getting better and better as time goes by. At first, it was just some small thing, like not everyone knows that, but then now that, especially during these lockdown times, everyone starts playing online, they check what's happening online, and they see esports, it's all about esports. So maybe if they're interested, they can just try a game of their interest and see how they can do.
This weekend, we celebrate Children's Day. And instead of looking at the problems, we look at an NGO that's working towards developing solutions.
With COVID-19, we had to go on a lockdown, a very strict lockdown. And as an organisation, we rely heavily on the community support in a way of volunteers and mentors. And during that time, unfortunately, we are not allowed to have volunteers and mentors visit the children. So of course our daily programs that we used to run have been impacted. So to keep the children stimulated, we've kind of got our own little homeschooling program going on. Another innovative way which developed out of COVID-19 has been our Children's Skills Development Program, where we've started taking them within our home with different departments such as our charity shop, teaching them about retail. We have our own food gardens, so we've started a food garden project with the children, and also agro-processing.
The Siyasebenza program is geared towards equipping our kids for the world of work, teaching them all types of skills which will prepare them to go out into the world and find some sort of income generating project. As you know, in South Africa, unemployment rates are very high, and so opportunities can be difficult to acquire for our kids. So it's a very exciting program actually, and we're trying to, at the moment what we've done is a lot of our older children are involved in the Siyasebenza program, but we're really wanting to extend that to our kids from a very young age.
If families have better access to resources, they are better able to provide for their children, which means that the chances of their children ending up in the system are much lower. I think children need that. They need to know that, like this isn't going to be my life forever. And I think that's what we try and do here, is let them know that this isn't how it's going to be forever.
Hey, Shapagunjani, this is KO, Mr. Cash Time, this kind of God. And right now you're checking out Joburg today. Let's go.